Hi everyone, I'm Lazy Cat Lady. I'm doing another Sultai time sieve leak today. I made a couple changes since the last match. The sideboard is staying the same for the moment, so I can keep trying out the second Pithing Needle over the third Haywire Mite. But I decided that the matches from the last video, sometimes the opening hands just weren't very keepable. And last time I was playing 2 Blood Fountain, 2 Ring, 4 Steel Seeker. So this time around I cut to one ring, I cut a Steel Seeker, and I brought back up to 4 Blood Fountains. I think those are just a little bit too important to have in the opening hand to enable Asmo, turn on Deadly Dispute, and to trigger Steel Seeker. So I think opening hands are a lot more usable with all 4 Blood Fountains, so I'm going to go back to testing that. So yeah, those are the changes from today. Alright, so let's go ahead and start up a league. Match 1, won the die roll. Alright, let's see what the opening hand looks like. Okay, got a Saga, got a Blood Fountain to turn on the Asmo, plus Deadly Dispute. It's a great hand. We'll keep. Let's see what my opponent's up to. No companion. Always love to not have to play against Tron. Alright, mulligans to 6. Alright, they keep at 6. Okay, lead on Blood Fountain, then we can decide next turn if we want to Asmo or Deadly Dispute. Okay, Scalding Tarn. Okay, it could be Dimir Control. Oh, okay, never mind, it's Mill. Dang, I haven't had to play against Mill in a bit, and right after I took the Emrakul out of the sideboard. Probably want to be aggressive. I know they play Fatal Pushes, but we might just want to run out an Asmo here instead of Deadly Disputing. I need to get that crab off the board, and future crabs. We got the Unearth, so I don't think we need the second Asmo, so let's do that. Okay. The constructs are going to be super helpful. We want to get them as big as possible. Alright, they're going to get to mill us for... Alright. Oh, and they got the field for the Saga, which is unfortunate. Let's see, what did we hit? We hit an Oval Chase. Wonderful. Okay. That's gonna help a lot. We definitely want to make the construct this turn. They're gonna want to field our Saga, which is a little unfortunate because I'd like to get the cookbook down this turn too, but we need the power on the board to push through these Giant Crabs and try to win as soon as possible. So let's just attack with Asmo. Nice that I can at least attack through these crabs. And we'll just be making a construct. Yeah, Mill's definitely a weird matchup. You kind of just need aggression if you don't have that Emrakul. Oh, and they don't have the 3rd land? Oh my goodness. So we could actually get to make 2 constructs here. That is huge. Get our Oval Chase back. That's also pretty awesome. Would love a land here. No land. I think the construct is going to be more important than getting the second cookbook online immediately. Push Asmo. Okay. Cookbook. Get in with the construct. Okay, so they don't have a land in their hand right now. We know that. They could top deck 1, but getting both constructs is the best we could ask for, I think, in this scenario. Alright, and they just scoop to the constructs. Okay, so Mill, I like to bring in definitely at least 1 ego. Specifically, Tasha's Hideous Laughter is just, that can just destroy your entire library in 1 shot. Even with the Oval Chases, everything is so low costed in this deck. So at least one ego for that. There's even a consideration for Nile Spellbomb to exile our own graveyard and turn off Drown in the Lock. I think that might be a little edge case. So maybe won't do that. Probably bring in Bone Shard's Fatal Push. Sometimes they have Ashiok, so we might want a Planeswalker removal, and it's nice to be able to get their crabs off the battlefield early, since that's really where a huge amount of their value comes from. They usually don't run super impactful artifacts or enchantments, hate pieces. Usually they just have instant speed stuff. So, I don't know. Goose isn't great against them since it doesn't give you the early aggression. So I think I'll just cut 2 Goose, and I guess they could have Leyline. Alright, we'll bring in 1 Haywire Might. Let's cut an Unearth and Blood Fountain and just try that. Mill is definitely oh, I guess I could have boarded a few extra cards in. That's something I could definitely do next game, to have just a couple extra cards against them. Okay, no turn 1 play, no early aggression. This is going to be a mulligan. And no lands. And they kept at 7. Alright, mulligan again. Alright, we'll keep this. And we want as many cards in our library as possible, so get rid of the fetch land. And we don't have a way to turn on Asmo at the moment. So I could see bottoming the Goose or the... Asmo might be important. I think here we want to get early artifacts to make our constructs as big as possible. So I think I'll bottom like that. And just hope to draw some impactful cards. Right, leading on a fetch. Got the crab. Unearth could potentially be really strong with this hand if they, mill a manufactor. And that is the one thing with mill. Sometimes their mills can be good for us. Getting oval chases in the bin. Okay, no second crab, which is good to see. Alright, probably holding up Drown / Counterspell. I'm not sure if they play Counterspell, but here we're probably just making a food with Goose. Yeah, I guess we could also Deadly Dispute, so we'll see what they do. I just want to have as big of a construct as I can. Although they're probably holding Drown, but... Cycle. Okay, Cycle, Fractured Sanity. Let's see if we hit an Oval Chase. There is an Oval Chase, so before they draw, I think we probably want to do something, because I'd rather not get the Oval Chase Surgical. So I can either make a food, or I can Deadly Dispute. Extra food's going to be more impactful with Asmo, so yeah, I think here we're just going to make an extra food, try to get this Oval Chase back, hopefully dodge a Surgical. And that's why I want to do this now. If they untap, they could also have Extirpate, but now they're tapped out. Alright, so for now, we got the Oval Chase. Dang. Okay, well they got the field, so we're going to lose the Saga most likely here. I don't know why. Yep, they wouldn't do something else, so that's down here. Oh, I drew... Oh, they milled the second basic. Oh no. I wasn't paying attention to that. Oof, that's rough. Alright, milled the 1 ring. We milled our 1 ego. Which is unfortunate. So here, I should probably just unearth Asmo here, kill the crab. They don't have Drown up right now. Yeah. Okay, I could Dispute first, but I would have to sack the Goose. That's okay, I'm going to want to play the Cookbook. So hopefully they don't have... Oh, I can pay for Spell Pierce. Although it would turn off the removal spell, but that's okay. Alright, let's grab Cookbook. Alright, we're down to 2 Cookbooks. Let's kill you immediately. Gotta turn off that engine. And let's get second oval chase back. Get our value now while we know they don't have a surgical, and pass. Okay, still got 38 cards in library. They got 6 in hand. We're not doing terribly, but, you know. Okay, ensnaring bridge. Well, good thing we got this Beseiju in hand. We can still attack through this at the moment. Alright, push. I guess I could Beseiju now with this food. Do I want to do that while I have the Asmo in play? I have an Asmo in hand. I don't think I need to ditch this extra food. That's fine. Okay. They have slowed me down a bit, though. So now I might want to dispute first before I Asmo. See if I can hit another land since I don't want to play this Beseiju. Hit the land. Seeing 3 oval chases is not great here, but not much you can do about that. But they did take that turn off to just hold me back from the threats I had on board, so now we get to get another removal spell in play and hold up Beseiju for their end step with the goose. Well, I guess we can only do one of those 2 things. They got another push. So again, I don't need to Beseiju because, you know, we're not going to be able to attack with anything anyway. We still have time sieves left. Oof, Tasha's hideous laughter. Yeah, this is, you know, you're about to see how horrible this card is for us. Half our library left, gone. All right, Haywire Might's out. Lost the second Sieve, so we still have 1 time Sieve left, but that's it. Don't really want to take a card out of the library at the moment. I'm not going to read through here to see if the Urborg got milled, but I think it's going to be get the oval chase, get one of these oval chases in play. Let's just sack a food. I also don't want to search if I don't have to. They could just have a couple, whatever that card is that you can cast for 0 when you search. Okay. Okay, untap. All right. 1 in hand, so no clue. Ooh, time sieve. Okay, I have blue with the goose. So, alright. Then let's go. So let's see, I need 2 mana. Okay, I got this. Beseiju. Oops, Beseiju your ensnaring bridge. Please and thank you. Go to combat. Do you have another push in hand? Like, they're really low on resources here. Alright, wonderful. Now we can go... Well, hold up. Should get the artifacts in play first. Alright, so I got 4 power in play. I can take a turn. Oof. Crypt Incursion. Gain 3 life for each card exiled this way. It's going to exile 1, 2, 3. I don't really need this extra oval chase back since I have the other one in hand. And I definitely want a time sieve. But this tells me they don't have... let's see, 1 watery grave in graveyard. Is there 1 in exile? It doesn't look like it. Alright. Blue-black, I would like to shock. Okay, exile away. Okay, make the 5th food. Time sieve. Take a turn. Now we're pretty far behind after that Crypt Incursion, but they're empty-handed. We get to take the turn. Alright. Saga's huge here. Can get 4 artifacts in play. Alright, well, let's get all our artifacts. And here we might just want to take a turn, since then we get to make a construct before they get any access to resources. So I'm just going to take a look at what this looks like. We sack a cookbook to take the turn here. I feel like we can fade 1 draw, probably. 2 mana left isn't enough to buy Yagantha, so we'll just pass the turn here. I want to be able to take the turn when the construct can attack. Land. Boom. Alright, let's see if we can snag this game versus Mill. This is definitely not an easy matchup for this deck, so I think this is pretty impressive here. Yeah, alright. And now we get to do exactly that, and this, now let's do some math. That construct, make a food, put you to 14. Alright. Well, I guess we don't need to do math, this is the obvious line. Alright, they scoop. Alright, awesome. Alright, we got the first game versus Mill. Wow, 2-0 versus Mill. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that match was super representative of that matchup. That matchup can be really tough, especially with early crabs or those Tasha's Hideous Laughters. So, you know, if your meta has Mill, you need an Emrakul in the sideboard. I don't play against it super often. But yeah, constructs, you can tell in that game, and also the oval chases. I don't know if I've talked about this too much in other previous videos, but the oval chase late game beatdown plan, just getting to loop them, and just if you draw multiple, just making a little army of 4/2s is a really good strategy against multiple decks. Definitely good against Mill, especially getting to take that turn in there. You know, 4/2s attack through all their crabs, so, and it's a lot quicker a clock than most of our other creatures, including Asmo. So, good showing. Starting it off with a nice 1-0. Okay, match 2, nice. Won the die roll again. Let's see what we got. We have the cookbook, but no oval chase. If there was an oval chase in this hand, I think I'd consider the 1-lander. But on the play, 1 land, no oval chase, I think it's a mulligan. Now we got the oval chase, but only the saga. We would have to draw a land to make this viable. It's really just tough with these 1-landers. My opponent did mulligan as well to 6. I think I gotta go to 5. Alright, well, another 1-lander, but this is keepable. We got cookbook. We got Gilded Goose. Alright, let's bottom Sieve. And then we can bottom Sarenth. Since we're low on lands, I think I want to keep the Sarenth. Bottom second Manufactor. Let's go with that. I think I want to lead on Goose, given then we could Steel Seeker on turn 2 if we don't draw another land. And if we do, we can Steel Seeker into Cookbook. Okay, Sacred Foundry, is it burn? It is definitely burn. Okay, so burn matchup. Alright, we got life-gaining cards. These geese are going to be so important. We do really need to hit lands. They could just Rift Bolt the Steel Seeker if I play that out here. But, you know, that's saving 3 damage anyway. We really need to hit lands. And they might read that, but this is what I'm going to try. Hopefully they don't have Rift Bolt me into land drop, and then the landfall card. That would be unfortunate, but hopefully we draw a land or get the chance to trigger Steel Seeker. But otherwise, for the burn matchup, you just want to really gain as much life as you can in the early turns. Alright, Rift Bolting me. Okay, they didn't fetch immediately. Sweet, second land. Alright. Yeah. We might hit a saga, so let's lead on cookbook. No, wait. Gotta have green for goose. Lead on goose. Hopefully they don't bolt Steel Seeker in response. But now that we have the second land, we got a little more leeway. Now we really would like to find an oval chase. This is kind of strong with our hand. We could just go off. But they can kill so quick with these hands. I feel like maybe I shouldn't keep this on top. Maybe it is worth it. But next turn we can drop Manufacture, but we can only make one activation. We won't have enough mana left to activate a goose. And they can just bolt something. I think we gotta bin it here. I'm digging for other stuff. We have the food token production. And they, as far as I know, they don't really play like artifact hate in the main board. So I'm happy to just make some foods here, crack them over the next couple turns, pad our life total, and that's usually what you want to do against burn. It's rare that you want to rush out and just try to win on the spot, at least in my opinion. I'm really thinking about this one. So definitely a tough choice with these Steel Seeker triggers. So much value. I wonder if I scared them binning the time sieve, you know? Oh, they don't know about the Manufacture. Never mind. Hidden information and all. I mean, the Sarenth, you know, already got me one trigger. I found my second land, so if they want to bolt the Steel Seeker, more power to them. I mean, I would love to dig for third land and or oval chase, but alright. Well, they let it go. What do we find? Alright, got the Overgrown Tomb. I think wanting to crack so many foods here, I'm just gonna pass. And let's get him with Steel Seeker. You know, we could keep the engine rolling discarding the Overgrown Tomb, but wanting to crack, it's great when you can get to the point where you can crack multiple foods per turn, and you gotta get to 4 lands, so okay. Well, I don't plan on gaining life this turn, so have at it. Alright, well, it's good to know they're playing main deck Skullcracks, so we do have to time our food tokens accordingly. 3 mana. Alright, let's see if we hit a 4th land. Okay, now with the extra land here, I think it's pretty safe to discard. And we want to discard here. We can keep, with the Urboard, we can keep the Delta, pad our life total. We don't really need a second green. See what we find. Don't need the Steel Seeker. Yeah. Now I just want to bide my time. If they tap so that they don't have 2 mana left, we can crack a food. That is the plan. So if they like Boros Charm me here, I'm going to respond with a food. We're at 11. Oh, they're at 13. Bolt me. Okay. This makes me think they definitely have the Skull Crack if they're... Okay, no. They're going for it. Alright, well, I'm cracking a food. Go to 11, go back to 8. They would have to have triple bolt on the untap to kill me. So, let's hope they don't have triple bolt. Or, you know, Lava Spike. Alright. Lava Spike? Okay. Alright. Again, they could have another Skull Crack, so I still want to be careful. I think here we can maybe put the Manufacture in play and pass. We don't really need a second cookbook with these geese, but this will get us a Sarenth trigger, and then they might have to think about dealing with the Manufacture. Do we hit a land? No, okay, this time now we can leave Time Sieve on top. We're a little bit more set up. And now we can just pass discard cookbook in response to whatever. Okay. And then you can use treasure plus sack of food with goose to crack the second food. So just got to be patient here. Searing Blaze, the goose. That'll put me to 2. They have 1 card in hand. Nothing can deal 5 damage. So I think here I want to... if they want to kill Manufacture with their last card, they're not killing me anyway. So here I want to go discard. And then we can let the goose die to the Searing Blaze. Okay. Put me to 2. And now we just have to make sure to leave up 2 mana to be able to crack a food no matter what. Bolt me. Okay, food. Sack of food. Go to 5, go to 2. Draw Time Sieve. Okay, now here we want to start with the goose activation and hopefully hit a land off of everything. And then we'll be able to discard land. Alright, Saga. I think we're good now. Don't need the ring. Don't want to lose life. Okay. Alright. Got there. Okay, so they're going to bring in that enchantment that stops us from gaining life. And any more skull cracks if they have them. Maybe wear tears. So, we want Haywire Mites. Those are great for getting rid of the enchantment, but also they gain life. This card is perfect against burn. We're also going to want probably Fatal Push Bone Shards. Maybe just the Fatal Push. You do want a little bit of extra removal to stop those early Goblin Guide Monastery Swift Spear hands. I think cut a Manufacture here. We want to get to the late game, so I think an early Time Sieve isn't really necessary. Geese are extremely important for blocking and making food tokens. You don't want to cut any geese in this matchup. Probably cut a Blood Fountain. I think I'll leave it like this. I might bring in the second Bone Shards in Game 3 if I absolutely need it. Alright, name of the game is Having Food Tokens. Haywire Mite, Underworld Cookbook. I think this is good enough for a keep. Because even without the Oval Chase, trading a card and 2 mana for 3 life is basically counterspell. You know? Alright. Oh! Daredevil. Perfect. We got the Boseiju, so we don't need access to green right now. Don't need access to blue. Let's fetch basic. Cookbook. Pass. And this is the type of game where you want to start cracking foods, probably starting on turn 2, and then, you know, hopefully hit enough land drops that we can start progressing our board while also cracking foods. Alright, let's see what we got on top. Time Sieve. Okay, it's a bit of a weird card to have on top. Not super happy to see that early. And there's the Roiling Vortex. So good thing we got this Haywire Mite. And we probably just want to put the Haywire Mite in play right now. I could also theoretically crack a food, but they're just going to start holding up Roiling Vortex activation, which means I'm going to lose the Haywire Mite trigger anyway. So here I think it's pretty easy. Exile Roiling Vortex. Now we got the two Unearths in hand. And this is why Haywire Mite was just the perfect printing for this deck. Now we'll just plan to crack foods on the upcoming turns. But already running Unearth, getting to play Haywire Mite, Saga Fetchable, You know, exile, such an incredible card. Alright, Goblin Guide, get us that land. That's all we need. Alright, they had the smash to smithereens. So we do need to find another method of food production. Could either put the Haywire Might in play. They have 3 cards in hand. They would have to have like triple bolt. I mean, they'll draw the 4th. I think here I need to dig for another land or another food generating source. So I think we just want to loot away this Oval Chase. Hopefully draw into some action. Another Oval Chase. Not quite what I had in mind. I guess I could have just cracked a food. That's probably what I should have done. They weren't holding up Skullcrack. Okay. Didn't even take my own advice in this matchup. Just you know, ignore me being a little too excited. Wow, no land hits off the Goblin Guide is pretty brutal though. That's what you're for, Goblin Guide. Skewer me. And here we'll just have to hold up food activation, you know, pass a turn. If they I mean, they're holding the Arid Mesa, I would imagine, for land drop. For their landfall burn card, but we can't, if they have 2 mana up, you can't crack a food really. So we're gonna have to go to 4 here. Saren, Steel Seeker. Where's all my lands at? Here I'm kind of forced into it. If they have Bolt Skullcrack, I mean, you know, I can't waste the opportunity for the 2 mana. Alright, Boros Charm, I'm dead. Okay, so that Goblin Guide really ran away with the game, so we need the Bone Shards. Do we need the One Ring? Not sure. I could see cutting an Unearth. Although Unearths are quite strong with Goose. Maybe we leave them. Let's cut... Yeah, let's cut the One Ring. The life losses, we don't want that in this matchup. And I think 4 mana, like, we're already in the late game. Oh, 1 land would have been perfect. Gotta mulligan that. Alright, Goose, Haywire Might. Looks good to me. Bottom. Let's bottom the Blood Fountain. We have the push for removal, and I want to keep all the other cards, so. And Goose will be coming down first. So let's do that. Now, usually I would be using Goose to chump block on this turn if they have a hasty threat. Oh, nothing. Okay. Okay. Now I can hold up food, create food, or crack food, depending on what they do, or push. Most likely create food, because the Goose can be a little slow. And you just want as many food tokens in play as you can. Which probably means I should have cracked on my turn, because of they're probably about to kill it. Well, you know. Yeah. So, I guess we're cracking the food instead. Unfortunate. I love how I talk through lines and then do the thing that I'm not supposed to do. Okay, let's go. We don't want to shock, so let's Blood Fountain, tapped Overgrown Tomb, hold up Fatal Push. And if they don't put a threat in play, we can sack Blood Fountain, Blood Token, loop the Daredevil end step. 7 cards in hand. It's pretty scary. Sunbaked Canyon even scarier. Okay, they're still just holding up their mana. I mean, I would love to see a creature at some point. Roiling Vortex. Okay. All right. Well, gotta find something as quick as we can. Thankfully, we do have the Haywire Mite, so I can put this in play. Now, Deadly Dispute. I could Deadly Dispute first, and I think we need to. We'll still have enough mana to Haywire Mite too. Especially if we hit a land, would be really nice. Alright. Ooh, Cookbook. So we can do Haywire Mite in play. Or I can get the Cookbook down and start making foods. I think that's better. Plus we can leave the treasure up with the Fatal Push. And next turn we can get Asmo in play, get another Cookbook, get this ball rolling. They do have a good hand right now, but I feel in a good position at the moment. We'll see what else they have. Would love it to be like a Goblin Guide, get a trigger, and then push it. That would be great. Nice thing about playing against Burn is they usually don't have graveyard hate. Alright, well, I'll take a Swift Spear too. Be gone! Ye foul Swift Spear. Nice thing about having treasures also in this deck with the Fatal Push. Being able to turn on Revolt very easily. But yeah, no graveyard hate, so you can usually be pretty sure that your first Oval Chase is the only one you'll ever need. Alright, they're thinking... Okay, they kill the Cookbook, dang. Again, just missing my avenues for Asmo just over and over again. Now they're tapped out. Ooh, another Cookbook. Okay, so now we can get Cookbook in play plus Might. Go to 17. This is wonderful. They don't have the mana up for activating Roiling Vortex. So if they don't have another Artifact Destruction, we'll get Asmo in play next turn plus Crack of Food. Alright, fourth land probably isn't what the Burn player wants to be seeing. You also want to get in a position, like I said before, where you can crack 2 foods a turn. Okay. Let's get the Asmo in play. Can't crack 2 foods this turn anyway. Get a backup Cookbook. And then just wait for a time when they don't have 2 mana open for a Skullcrack. Pass the turn. Plus now we got Crack Food plus Removal spell up. Again, that's why this is looking pretty good. I mean, if they have another Searing Blaze, it's not great, but they have to have another land drop for that. Okay, Boros Charm. 13. Doing something else. And this is when we crack our food. Alright, go to 12. Yeah, now we really need to find that 4th land because cracking 1 food a turn. I mean, we are at 12, I guess. They got 3 cards in hand. They can crack the Canyon. Guess we can just... Oh no, I don't want to yield in case I want a removal spell. Searing Blaze. Alright, they got the land drop Searing Blaze. That's unfortunate. So no more threat for us, but... Alright, skewer me to 6. So hopefully we just hit a land so we can crack 2 foods here. 1 card in hand for opponent. Alright, no such luck. So here we can get the second Cookbook out, crack a food now before they have mana open, and just hope we can untap. Alright, we're at 9. I don't think they can kill us from here, given their land count. Alright, they get 1 Cookbook out of play, and it's kind of nice here, even though they had the destruction and it was good against me, being able to still have the resources left over means they're, you know, very low cards in hand, and they had to spend their time, you know, fighting over that stuff. Okay, well, we really want the land. We'll be able to crack a food anyway with the treasure, so perfect. All right. We still have our second basic, but we might fetch tapped watery grave. I think we're in a good position. I'm gonna pass. I guess I could goose, but leave a chump blocker for like a goblin guide. It is a consideration. I'd rather fetch tapped watery grave, so I'm gonna pass. I guess I don't, if I leave the treasure up, I guess I don't need to fetch tap watery grave. If they crack the canyon here, we will respond. Yeah, I think I've convinced myself that I can use that for the Sieve if I want it. So let's just go to 11, and now I think we're, let's just do this now too. I think we're kind of out of range, you know? Like, they'll untap with 3 cards, but, you know, 3 bolts / spikes doesn't do it. Okay, Roiling Vortex. And see, exactly, this is where you want to be able to crack 2 foods, but I guess they have 2 activations up. So, okay, I got a 10. And now we just need to be really careful. I don't have enough artifacts to take a turn. I could play Goose if I'm willing to get rid of the treasure and still crack 2 foods. Just play the Blooming Marsh. I think we will play the Goose. I don't think the time sieve is going to come into play at all this game. Or if it does, it'll come into play later. Let's go like that. We do kind of need them to expend mana so we can actually sacrifice foods. And step. Although I guess here we might just want to crack a food no matter what. We could take a turn. Could take a turn if I don't crack a food. Doesn't really seem useful to crack a food here. I'm just gonna untap. Let's go to 9. Being at 9 is a bad place to be versus burn. Alright, Saga's really good. Okay, so here I do want to take a turn. Given that they only have 1 card in hand. Yes. Let's make another food. Blue. Alright. Because now we can get a construct in play and try to race them. Can't gain life this turn. Okay. They got plenty of mana to deny any life gain I could possibly throw at them at the moment, so. Let's do that. Let's grab Yagantha. Yield to the turn. Alright, Juggy. Okay, go to 8. Alright, so now we gotta, so if we can take another turn, we can get the Haywire Might. But here, they crack Sunbaked Canyon, they'll untap with 3 cards, and we can respond with multiple food activations. So I think I can safely just, I'll make the food now, so we have it in play. And I don't have to worry about the trigger. And then let's just pass. Okay, we go to 13. Okay, one card in hand. Alright. I'm not in danger of dying, so we get to make the construct. In fact, we get to make construct. What are they at? 13, 5, 5. This will make it a 6, 6. We might just be able to kill them here. Alright, I'll go to 7. Because I can just take turns now. Alright. But I think we're just going to get Haywire Might. And we can gain life on our next turn. Haywire Might. I think here I'm just going to... I think I can just Asmo. They have one card in hand. Asmo, get a cookbook. Hit him for 10. Take a turn. You're dead, opponent. Long game versus burn. And this is how you want your burn games to be. Yep. Alright, and opponent sees it and scoop. So yeah, the long game, you know, even with the Roiling Vortex in play, if they don't have any pressure from their cards, it really ends up not mattering because I can just not gain life. And that's what, you know, this deck is just kind of has really good built-in tools for beating burn. Play the long game. Don't make some of the mistakes like I did game 2 where I was like, I should crack a food token, and then proceeded to not do that. Yeah, it makes sense that they're playing main board Skullcrack. Yeah, play around the Skullcracks, you know, be very aware of the Roiling Vortexes and try to make it a long game. Crack your foods early. It's pretty formulaic to an extent against the burn deck. Alright, starting out with a quick 2-0. Love to see that. Alright, match 3. Won the die roll again. Alright, today's our lucky day. Hitting the die rolls. Okay, we got Goose. Goose into Sarenth plus Cookbook. Sarenth will really help us dig for an Oval Chase in this hand, so got the Saga. Super keepable. And this can be another nice thing about having Goose in your deck, is that if your opponent doesn't kill it on turn 1, you can turn 2 Steel Seeker plus another 1-drop that generates an artifact. So you really get to just explode your board and card advantage early. Okay, no companion for our opponent. Again, happy to not see Tron. Bloodstain Mire. It could be Scam. If it's Scam, they might just be holding up Fatal Push or Bolt. But, you know, if they Bolt Steel Seeker, I've got the Unearth, so not a big deal. Okay. It looks like they don't have Bolt Push, or they just don't want to use it right now. I don't want to Time Sieve right now. And here I'll just hold. I don't really want to expend any of my other resources. I'd like to keep our Unearths. Although I do also really want to hit a land drop for this Saga, so never mind, I've changed my mind. In response to your fetch. Okay, well, I'll bin you. That'll, you know, that works well with the Unearth. Alright. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not Death Shadow if they're not shocking. So, probably Scam. They might be Voidwalkering here. Or Bowmasters. Alright, Voidwalker. Totally fine. Extra good to bin the stuff before the Voidwalker comes down. We also Furying. Oh, Grief. Ah, okay. Well, they'll probably take the Unearth. But we can make a construct, thankfully, with the Goose sticking around. Yeah, you gotta take it. Alright, good to keep track of what Dothy has access to. Unearth, not particularly relevant. I don't really want to take a chance at whiffing a land drop by playing this cookbook, so I'm not. Dothy can't block. Shadow is such a weird mechanic. I can't believe they really printed this card. Unblockable 2-mana graveyard hate creature with free casts. It's goofy. This construct will be super important. What do they pitch? Oh, they pitched interesting. Pitching Bowmasters. Maybe they see Bowmasters as not impactful in this matchup, but pitching Bowmasters, very interesting to me. They might have a really good hand if they're pitching Bowmasters. Alright, what's happening? Blood Moon. Well, that hurts. Glad we have this construct. Get another trigger on the Steel Seeker. Oh, now it's the Oval Chase with the Dothy in play. That's rather unfortunate. With that in mind, I don't really want to draw this, since I don't have a way to get the Dothy off the battlefield at the moment. I kind of need to dig until I hit an Asmo. So, sorry, Oval Chase. I need to hit lands now. Do I want to discard something else? It's also a good question. Really need to hit that land. I guess I get to play the cookbook, so I'm not gonna worry about it. We'll just untap. Having the Gilded Goose out and then, oh dang, worst land we could draw. Having the Gilded Goose out through the Blood Moon is pretty good. Is that good? That might be really good to draw next turn. If Goose survives, we can unearth Manufacture and then start really going off. So I think I'll be patient. I think I can be patient here. As long as they don't kill that goose. Please don't kill my goose. And now the Saga has kind of, you know, become a useless land that we can just use for fodder for the cookbooks. Alright, what you got, opponent? My clock is beating theirs. They got 4 cards in hand. Fable. Okay. Fable's fine. I can't attack with the Sarenth anymore, but the construct still gets to get in. So, not a big deal. Alright. And now we're going to need to discard something to get a food before we can unearth the Manufacture anyway. So we'd rather have more cookbook activations open to us next turn. So let's bin the Saga now, get the food for Goose, so that we can cast this beautiful Unearth. Now we can really, you know, blow this construct out of the water. Alright, land. I really want to start going off. I guess I don't need the second Steel Seeker if they're just not hitting anything. And here's how you can see Sarenth is basically a stand-in for Oval Chase Daredevil. I'm not worried about them getting a Manufactor. Find some more land fodder. Don't need the Fountain. Now it doesn't matter, these lands are identical with the Blood Moon in play. Asmo. We want Asmo. Do we want to draw it right now? Yes. And here's, you know, clues are really nice here where you can crack and still get the rest of these triggers. The One Ring. We want the One Ring. I'll leave that on, and I'll leave that on top. Oh, I'm gonna shuffle away if I play this Asmo right now. Here we get to go get a cookbook. I'll play it in case I hit a land off the top. And then we can kill this land off the top. Now I can kill Dothy or the Shaman token. If I kill the Shaman token, I can get in for more damage, but the Dothy is definitely more pressing. And we can't get another 2 foods this turn. So yeah, let's kill the Dothy before they can untap and get a free card off of its ability. And now I just want to get Manufacture and Sarenth triggers while I can. Goose. Do I want a goose? Not particularly. I'd rather find lands. Beseiju. Perfect. Now we can get that Blood Moon off. And we get to get the Oval Chase in the yard. Everything's coming up great. Wow, we really just blew up our board that turn. You're at 4, opponent. Alright, what are they going to discard? 4 cards in hand. Discards. Alright, well, couldn't find... I'm surprised you'd concede before discard. I feel like you could still Fury Pitch something, kill my board, but... Alright, side card. Alright, we're playing against Rakdos. Bring in the extra removal. Pithing Needle for Engineered Explosives. One Nile Spellbomb to catch Feign Death targets, and then Haywire Mites for Graveyard Hate and Blood Moons. Cut the synergy. I think we leave the... Maybe we cut 1 goose. And cut a dispute. Submit. I could maybe just bring in 1 Haywire Mite. That's probably also fine. Leave in the 4th dispute. Depends. Some people play Leyline, some don't. All right. All right, playing against Scam, game 2. On the draw. Now this is a pretty bad hand versus an Evoked Grief. They begin with 7, so they could have it. You know, they would probably take, like, Cookbook Push. I guess they have to take Push first, and then they take one of these. I feel like this is still keepable, you know. The One Ring being an excellent card in this matchup. Don't like to mulligan against Thoughtseize decks anyway. Okay. Well, looks like they're just holding up removal. Doesn't matter holding the push. Doesn't make a difference, so get the cookbook in play. Let's reorganize my hand a little bit. Nice to have the basic too against Blood Moon. So, alright. Dothy, if it's Dothy, we got the answer. It's Dothy. And here they don't have anything in exile. I don't want them to, I really don't want them to feign death this, though. This is probably one of the most important cards versus us. So let's push. And just get the other cookbook in play. Now they know we don't have Oval Chase, or at least as of last turn, because I didn't discard anything. Would love to be able to get to 4 mana before discard. Okay. Alright, they got the backup Dothy. No Thoughtseize. I'm just trying to feign the Thoughtseize until I can drop this ring. That would be really great. Ooh, do they have the Thoughtseize? EE on 1. Okay. I mean, that's big, but we do have the, we got the Beseiju. So I can take care of it. Although I'd... Oh, I can play... You may play it this turn. Okay, because Channel is discard from hand, I I'm not going to give them this on the Dothy. So here I can take out the Engineered Explosives, which discards a card, and then I can just play my Asmo. And we just have to draw a 4th land, but I think we can get there. Alright, do they have something they want to be able to play? No. Okay. Yes. Grab the cookbook. Go ahead. Please no discard. I need to draw a land. Yeah, unfortunately we had to use the Visagi there, but, you know, Engineered Explosives, pretty great against this deck. Gotta get that off the field before they can blow everything up. Alright, they get the push. Land, 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 land. Okay. No land. Here I'm tempted to discard something and Deadly Dispute, although I don't really want to give them the Dothy. Well, they don't have any permanents in play. Maybe it's not really an issue. But then I have to give up one of the Deadly Disputes. Okay. Here I think I just buy Yagantha. The Dothy Voidwalker does need to get dealt with, but I want to conserve my resources as much as I can versus this deck. Be really bad now, you know, they Thoughtseize, take the ring, cast the ring, but the fact that they're going to combat here suggests to me that they don't have discard either, or they just value the damage more. That's also could be possible. She's gonna grief me. Oh no! Okay, so, well, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, oh, I should cookbook discard what I want, but they're just gonna take what they want, which is probably the One Ring. Now I really just hope to be able to remove this Dothy on when I untap, because otherwise they get to cast the ring next turn. So ring coming back to bite me a little bit here. Saga's really good. And then, you know, now we draw the land turn too late. Here I think we can pitch Yagantha, and I want to start drawing some cards. I guess them casting Yagantha isn't great either. It's not a lot of great options. But would they choose this over the ring? I don't think they would. So I think it's kind of a safe discard, being not as impactful as that. Alright. Now if they don't have a Blood Moon, you know, ooh. Okay. Well, I can't get 2 foods immediately. Right, I could play cookbook, but then I would only have 1 card to discard to make 1 food. I need to get this Dothy off the battlefield. Now it's like removal or discard, you know, to protect my Asmo from. They've already had a push, but it's just 1 push. They could easily have Bolt, Terminate, push in hand, or Fury. Yeah, I think I'm more afraid of removal before I can get the Dothy off the battlefield than I am of another discard spell. So here I'm just going to pass and hope that I'm right. And it really shows you kind of one of the pinchers that this deck puts you in is exactly that. Alright, you get in 4/6. Not great to see, but not the worst. To Fury. Agadeem's Awakening, targeting Dothy Voidwalker. Ouch. Well, now we gotta get rid of 2 Voidwalkers. So that's troubling. Alright. Let's dig a little deeper. Okay, Bone Shards. Alright, well now we can get 1 off the battlefield just like that. Second basic. So we gotta sequence some of this well. Gotta have 2 discards, and then Asmo. So what do we want to lose? We gotta lose, I guess we gotta lose cookbook plus manufacture. Could I play manufacture first? Discard cookbook? I don't know, too much math. Discard another cookbook. Cast Asmo. Get the 4th. Kill a Dothy. Oh geez, and now we can't discard the Daredevil to get the second one because it'll get exiled. They're pretty low on resources. I don't know. This is maybe a little loose, but I'm gonna discard the cookbook. Take the other Dothy out of play. And we can double block Construct plus Asmo, and I'm going to do that to play around Bolt if I'm given the chance. Is it a Fury? It is a Fury. Okay. So we're going to have to take the 3 from the Grief, but we do get to make a Construct. 2 Constructs. Alright, they have 2 in hand. Possibly no lands. Alright, no land drop. Might have to crack a food, so I want to be thinking about that. Draw. Hit a Haywire Might. Okay. I think I could get Haywire Might as a chump blocker, but I can also just play the one from my hand, or I can get Nihil Spellbomb to protect from a Feign Death, which I think might be a little more important. Ooh, EE on 0 would just lose me the game. Okay, EE on 0 loses me the game. Engineered Explosives. Okay. And now we have our constructs are outside of Fury kill range, so I can pretty safely put the Haywire Might in play as a chump blocker. Do I want to get in? Not particularly. All right. Let's try to fade a little bit more removal. 3 cards. We can crack a food, but we gotta hold that. We don't want to do that if they have a lightning bolt in hand. We'll die in response to the activation. Our plan here is to block Fury with a construct and then block construct Might on Grief. What do they got? Alright, dash a Ragavan. Okay. Well, we can take a Ragavan hit. Right, go to 1. Go to blocks. Because I need to block the Grief, and so I need 2 creatures for that. So I think it's pretty easy. Block like this. Go to 1. Let's see if they want to kill the Haywire Might. I would imagine they would, but they also might not want me to have the life gain. Yep, okay. Didn't want me to have the life. Alright, take your Fury and Grief off the battlefield. Get hit by Ragavan. What do you get? Gilded Goose. Not super impactful, that's great. Do you have 2 bolts in hand? Otherwise I think I have won the game. Okay, they do play the Goose as a chump blocker, that makes sense though. Okay. Alright, so they got Ragavan, 2 unknowns. Probably no feign deaths. I think it was, you know, they probably would have feign deathed. And we just want to hold up mana for food activations. So let's get those foods. They have 1 hasty threat, but none of their other threats, as far as I am aware, have haste. So I think we can pretty safely get in with the 2 constructs. They can go to 5. I got a chump blocker that gains life, 2 food token activations. Alright. Go ahead. They would need to have triple bolt. Just don't think it's possible. And here I will happily chump block Haywire Might on Ragavan. Dothy. Okay. Can't block. Ragavan, 2 unknowns. Ragavan. Okay, now they could still have double bolt. So I don't really want to respond now. Yeah, on top. See if we can hit removal. We have Asmo and Grave, but I want to play around bolts. So they gotta have removal because they can only chump block with Ragavan. Go to combat. Fatal Push, terminate. Okay. Okay. Alright, they didn't have it. They were just waiting to see what I did. Sweet. Another wow, we just been blowing through the matches today. These are a lot quicker than usual for me. So yeah, Rakdos scam 2-0. You can see the importance there of having the foods in the late game. Constructs are so important against them. They didn't draw the Blood Moon. And you know, it's funny, I'm usually afraid of the Blood Moon in that matchup. But when they just don't have it, you can just take over the battlefield with stuff that can't be furied. And can just, you know, trade with anything that you want. So, pretty good match showing against that deck. Yeah, some good matches so far. 3-0, great start. Match 4. Okay, first die roll lost this league. But that's okay. Three in a row before was pretty sweet. Okay. I think this is an okay hand. This is the type of hand where I think we lead on Urza's Saga to rush out a cookbook. Yeah, I think it's decent. Let's keep. See what we're up against. Basic Island go. Could be Murktide. Not really sure. If it's Murktide, I kind of want the constructs, which makes me want to play a little bit slower. Okay, I've changed my mind. We'll play slower. Consider? Okay. Probably Murktide or maybe Dimir. Oh, they revealed Kahira. I didn't realize that. Okay. I should really be paying attention to those things. Kahira, probably blue-white control. So we definitely want the constructs. 100%. Okay. Saga. Let's play out the Steel Seeker. Nice having the Unearth in hand, so even if this gets countered, we got the Unearth to get it back. Counterspell. Alright. Ooh, okay. No third land drop for them. I feel like this is kind of a effect of people starting to play Lorien Revealed, is that it seems like they're much more likely to miss land drops, which is great for me. Here I'll probably just fetch Watery Grave. Control, just leave the basics in the deck. You don't really care about life loss. Well, I mean, they've got 7 spells in hand, so it's, you know, it's not great. They probably have an answer to my constructs, but that's okay. Alright, first construct. Draw. Yep. Just want to make constructs. We can pressure with Manufacture plus Cookbook starting next turn. Alright, what do they got? Dress down. Okay. Well, they had the answer, but that's okay. Let's get ourselves a Cookbook. And now we could unearth the Steel Seeker right now and get a trigger in, but I feel like I want to save the unearth for a Manufacture. We can just get down Blooming Marsh, Blood Fountain. Go ahead. Now with this extra draw, they might hit their third land drop here, but you know, we're a land ahead now, which is really good. Should be a bit of a slow game, and here's where Blood Fountain is probably going to be a strong card in the late game, so I really want this to stick around, because if they, you know, I'll let them interact with some creatures, and then I can get back Sarenth and a Manufacture in a couple turns after I run out of gas. These are really the matchups where this card shines a lot. And having the oval chases versus control, as long as they, you know, I don't want to put them down as threats yet because they could get exiled. I'll wait till I have another oval chase before I think about that plan. Okay. Another Cookbook. So here I just want to go Manufacture. If they want to counter this, then I can either unearth it or play second Cookbook. Okay, fetch. Triome. Counterspell? Okay. And honestly here, this makes me, well, next turn I can Manufacture plus unearth again, but have 2 Cookbooks up. So I think I'd rather do that. Let's just do that. Plus now we can generate a bunch of tokens, and if we top deck a Time Sieve, that can give us just a way to take an extra turn after they interact with our stuff. Alright, they're hitting their land drops. Alright. Let's get our foods. I think I want to play the Delta. Yeah, let's go grab. Let's do Overgrown Tomb. Cast Manufacture. Alright, what you got, opponent? Another counterspell? Oh, 4 mana. What is this? Subtlety. Okay. I think here we still definitely put on top. Okay. Top. Unearth. Academy Manufacture. Hopefully they don't have, like, Force. Looks like they don't. And now we get to start making the clues and just, you know, getting card advantage. And I'll make them interact with this manufacturer, get everything back with the blood fountain. I think that's my easiest path forward. We already hit our land drop. I could draw a card now. Or I can just wait till their turn. They don't play Bowmasters, so I think I'll just pass. We have a manufacturer on top. Opponent knows about that one. Okay, this definitely tells me they're playing the rings, which, you know, makes a lot of sense. Looks like that might be what they have. Nope, 5 mana. Okay. What you got? Okay, 5 mana. Alright, Solitude. Yeah, they'll exile the manufacturer, but that's okay. We got the other one on top. Okay. I can just yield to the end step. Alright. My life total is a little low. We might have to crack some foods at some point in this match. Okay. Plus having flying, you know, constructs won't get me there. Alright, let's go. We'll have Manufactor enter next turn, so I think here is where we cash the blood token in. Draw our Manufactor. Alright, untap. Deadly Dispute. Alright, that's pretty good. Manufactor. I have another Subtlety. Looks like they might. Okay, no. They could have another Solitude. There's the Solitude. Yeah, you can enter and target, and then I'll. Oh, they pitch to Fairy, and then I can, you know, make all my value. All right, Deadly Dispute. Sack food. Ooh, drew the time sieve. So this could be GG. We get to make the rest of our mana, play Urborg, play time sieve, and then we can we might have enough mana to blood fountain back manufactor. Oh no, it's getting exiled, I forgot. Dang. Okay, well, still get to take the turn, and then we can figure out what to do after. Let's sack all our foods. Okay. Yeah. Don't need to draw now. We can take a couple extra turns. I'd rather conserve as many artifacts as I can until I can get a deterministic win. Oh, well, look at that. Right off the top. I think they're probably out of interaction, so I think this is probably GG against the control deck. Okay. Alright. Nice. They didn't make us play it out. Okay. Blue-white control. They're definitely going to be bringing in, what do you call it? They're going to be, if they have Stony Silence, they're going to be bringing that in. We're going to want Pithing Needle for the ring and for Teferi Time Raveler. That's pretty straightforward. Probably want to bring in one Haywire Mite as a catch-all for whatever other interaction they bring in. And then probably Bone Shards for on-board Teferi. This is control. Against control, Goose is a lot worse since it doesn't really, you know, progress or impact the board as heavily. They'll probably have Rest in Peace, so I'm going to cut an Unearth. And then let's cut Blood Fountain and maybe a third Goose. I think third Goose here is the least impactful card in the hand, and I don't think I want anything else versus them. I could see an argument for bringing in an Unmoored Ego to just take Stony Silence, because that card it's so hard to come out from under that card. You know, you can attack Karn and everything else you can Haywire Might, but Stony Silence is pretty rough. Okay, no lands. Easy mulligan. Let's see what our opponent does. Our opponent mulligans, that's good. Ooh, okay, we got the Boseiju. Alright, so Boseiju Sagas, we can Goose, get some constructs. I don't think they're going to be playing Blood Moon. They'll probably just have extra dress downs. What do we want to bottom? Maybe the Unearth, but Deadly Dispute is pretty good against them. And they could have Graveyard Hate. So let's keep bottom Unearth. Good to go. Now, it's kind of unfortunate that I want to play this Boseiju, because I'd love to be able to keep that for a Stony Silence. It's kind of tough. Another Saga. Okay, well, we're going to do what the hand wants to do. 3 Sagas. As long as they, I'm not sure if this control deck would play Blood Moon. As long as they don't play Blood Moon, 3 Sagas is going to be so strong against them. Alright, Saga, and now we can just hold up Deadly Dispute or make a food with Goose. I just want to make sure these constructs are as big as possible. Even though Dress Down is usually their removal for them, I still just want to have them be as big as possible. Sometimes control decks play Fire Ice, so we want to have it at least a 3/3. Alright, that suggests no Blood Moon. I don't know why you wouldn't fetch like that. Okay, might have a Leyline Binding though for the construct. This could be Teferi Bounce Saga. That's my best guess. So here I could Dispute now, but I would have to sack the Goose. I'd rather not. Teferi's fine. Yeah, we will have to handle it eventually, but okay, I'm assuming you bounce the Saga. Yeah. Alright, let's just create a food. And we can just replay the Saga. Definitely, slows me down a lot, especially on the draw, but it is what it is. Yeah, replay Saga, and now maybe I want some pressure on the board, so instead of making a food, let's get Sarenth in play, so we can, if they don't have removal, we can keep the Teferi in check to not be able to bounce Sagas or constructs for a while. The nice thing about playing against a Teferi, well, it's still pretty good against us, but sometimes all your permanents are sacrificable that the Teferi wants to bounce, and you just get to, the Teferi can't really bounce anything of value. Alright, so let's do that. Let's attack Teferi. See if we connect. And the construct will get a Sarenth trigger, which is really nice. Okay, great. Alright, they missed their land drop last turn, which kind of evens out the Saga bounce, which is great. You draw on 2 with Charm. Yep. Okay. And I don't want to, even though I might miss a Sarenth trigger, if they want to remove it in response to the activation, I don't want to do it until I know that they're not going to like Teferi bounce it on their turn. So I want to do it end step if I can. Alright, what you got here? Prismatic Ending on the Sarenth. The trigger's nice, but I don't need it, and I don't want to walk into main phase removal on the construct. And here, if the construct gets to connect, we can take that Teferi out of play. Alright, 2 mana up. Could be Dress Down. We do have a lot of extra Sagas in hand, so it's not a huge problem if it's a Dress Down. Do I want to use my mana? I could Ring this turn instead of making the extra construct, if I'm thinking that they're going to have a Dress Down. We drew the Cookbook. probably we just want to needle the Teferi. I think it's still correct to make a construct. I want to play this game slow. Okay, Pithing Needle, Teferi, Time Raveler. Okay. Now, with that being the case, I might not attack the Teferi. Let's just go to combat and see what happens. Dress down. Okay, dress down. I don't need the mana from Goose this turn, so that's fine. Okay. And the constructs are just going to keep coming. And now, hopefully we can resolve this cookbook. Very nice. They don't really have instant speed Graveyard Hate, unless their Graveyard Hate is Endurance. I'd rather them not know about the Oval Chase at the moment, since they don't. Alright, let's pass the turn. And now we've got the Teferi out of range for bouncing anything until they can get rid of that Pithing Needle. Okay. Okay, maybe Prismatic Ending. Oh, Prismatic Ending on the Needle. Okay. If I had 2 mana here, I could have Deadly... Oh no, I can't Deadly Dispute because Teferi. Gotta love Teferi. The One Ring. Yeah, okay. I don't have anything to remove that, so we can just go to the end step. Definitely need to find something to handle this ring before it runs out of, before it takes control. Now we could ring ourselves, but then we don't get to make a construct, which is frustrating. Although it might be important to resolve the One Ring. But then they just get to bounce my Saga. I don't know. I feel like the construct's more important. I can Deadly Dispute plus make a construct because of the Goose, so I think maybe I'll lead on that. Let's go Deadly Dispute, green, sack for black, sack a food token, Tear Asunder. Okay, well, now I want to Tear Asunder, so I won't be able to make a construct, because I just need to get that ring out of play. Okay, let's play you. Let's Tear Asunder the One Ring, and then we can just fetch later. Okay. They probably will just bounce the Saga, because otherwise I can just get a Pithing Needle. But that means we just get to... Oh, they just tick up. Interesting. The One Ring. Okay. Have another ring. I can get my second Pithing Needle here, or I can get Haywire Might. I guess it kind of depends. 5 cards in hand. Definitely need to deal with the ring over to Teferi. Alright, end step. Let's get a tapped Watery Grave. Get our food token. And here, because of the Teferi and having to deal with the ring, they can just bounce the construct. Manufacture. Ooh. That's a lot of value, huh? I think I kind of have to force them to bounce the construct. And then... Oh, if I Needle, they can just bounce, so I have to get Haywire Might here. Okay. Let's make a construct. go grab Haywire Might. Let's exile the ring right now. Play our Saga. And now we only have, we could have 3 mana to cast our Manufactor. They're probably holding up a counter spell. I don't know if the treasure and food are going to be more important at a later date. If they counter it next turn, they're probably going to bounce Construct with Teferi. Next turn I won't be able to ring anyway, so I think this is correct. Let's go like that. See if it gets countered. Looks like it will. It's okay to eat the counter with the Manufactor. Alright, they're down to 3 cards. They'll go up some resources with this Teferi bounce. And hopefully our army of oval chases, constructs, and the ring in hand can help us stay in this game. Definitely going to be a long game versus control, which probably means I should be playing a little bit quicker. Alright, what you got? Chalice on 1. Okay, that's pretty bad for us. Now we can't unearth our Haywire Might back. So we're just going to have to deal with that. Okay. Go to my turn. Okay. Definitely want to make a construct, so that's all we got. Pass the turn. Once we finish making our constructs with the 3rd saga, then we can start deploying the oval chase. Alright, what are they doing here? Not sure. They just deploying a subtlety, memory deluge. Okay, that's gonna help them catch up for sure. Four cards in hand, going to 5. Tick up to Fairy. They have enough mana to flashback the Deluge on my end step if they don't have anything else to do. It looks like they've got other plans. Oh, whoops. Stony Silence, and this is where, you know, Stony Silence is just gonna absolutely be so powerful here. Okay, thankfully we do have the Oval Chase plan, so it's also really nice, you know, Saga doesn't get affected by the Stony Silence. And now we can Needle Teferi. That'll be helpful. They got 4 mana, so they could have a Subtlety, another Deluge, possibly. Okay, untap, draw. Land is kind of pointless. Don't need any blue mana. Okay. Let's Needle to Fairy. Time Raveler. Go to combat. Attack you for 7. Ooh, we getting in? Nice. Okay, we only have 3 mana since this is a tap land. So we can't sack a food or anything. We could make a food token with Goose, or we could buy Yagantha. I think buying Yagantha is a little more efficient with the mana. We don't really need the extra toughness. They can go to 6/6s. Pass turn. Because their removal right now for these constructs is going to be Solitude. You know, so it's dead no matter what. Okay, what do we got? Another Memory Deluge? Maybe a Subtlety? Okay, they're just putting the Subtlety in. And this is where Subtlety is just so funny to me, being in decks like this, where it's really not doing much of anything. Okay, I got no effects. Now the ring is just kind of sitting dead in my hand. Alright, they're at 8. I can make these 7/7s. This kind of makes me want to play the Manufactor pre-combat to present lethal with a Goose activation. And I think that's what I'll do. What you got? Got another Subtlety. Counterspell. Okay. You can still put them to 1, hopefully. But, you know, they could have another blocker. Don't need to attack to Fairy. Okay, get in. They could have a Dress Down. Is that what they got? Something else? Maybe a Solitude. Okay. So, dang, now looks like they can probably exile 1 and then trade for the other, because it'll be a 5/5. I can make it a 6/6. We'll see what they do. Okay. That's fine. Well, then I guess it's going to kill them anyway, and they're going to kill it anyway. So, 3/2, okay. Alright, we've successfully dealt with those. They're down to 1 card. They have the Memory Deluge. We'll make a food, and then we'll start deploying our other threats. So, nice to actually be able to play through the Stony Silence a little bit here with most of our plays. What you got? Main phase. Another Memory Deluge. Chalice on 2. Okay, it's not super impactful here. Okay. Asmo. Okay, I can't get Asmo in play. I could play Yagantha or Oval Chase. I think I'd rather play Oval Chase. Alright, go ahead. Unfortunately now they've gained all this life, but I am at 25, so 2 cards plus Deluge. What you got now? 1 ring. Okay. So I can't attack them, but you know, I might just get the Teferi off the board, but now they're going to start losing life from this ring. Oh, their ring is turned off. Are they going to have to remove their own Stony Silence just so that they can draw cards? Okay, they buy Kahira. Alright, yield through the turn. Alright, let's just get the Teferi out of play. That way, even if they remove the Pithing Needle, it doesn't do anything. And here, their ring is just hilarious with Stony Silence. Attack Teferi. No, I don't really want to walk into a Wrath. Let's Deadly Dispute first. See what happens. Let's sack a food. See what we draw. Oh, I forgot the Chalice on 2. Oh my goodness. Okay, well we can deploy second Oval Chase with our Goose activation. Alright. Well, I guess they won't be losing any life from this ring, so that was just kind of a fog for them. I won't yield in case... Well, why would they remove Stony Silence? That wouldn't make any sense. 2 cards in hand. One of them's Kahira. They can flashback the Deluge, which is probably what they'll be doing. Okay, Chalice on 1, so not doing that. Let's get in for 8. Can we get you to 3? Okay. Can't deploy that. Don't really want to walk further into a Wrath. I don't think getting protection from everything does me much. But maybe it does. I can cast the ring. It's not really doing anything in my hand anyway. Cast the ring. Protection from everything. Go ahead. I don't know if they play, you know, something that would target me, but this will at least turn that off. Alright, Flashback Deluge. I would imagine is their plan here. Right, got him at 2. Look at the top 7. I'm trying to think if there's... I don't think there's a discard outlet that we have left that isn't an artifact, so I don't think we can get this Asmo in play, unfortunately. Alright. I still got Teferi locked down. Okay, what you got? 1 ring. Okay, well, they get to fog for a turn. Buy some time. So, no point in attacking. We still have 2 lethal threats, so no reason to do anything else. Time Sieve will get countered, so let's just pass the turn. Oh my god, I remembered to not attack into the protection from everything. What you got here? Nothing? Memory Deluge, Dress Down. Archmage's Charm? Oh, I wonder if it's target player they had protection from everything. I think they were trying to draw too. Oh, that's so funny. The whole protection from everything is so absolutely goofy to me. What's happening? Another ring. They're down to... They've used 2 rings. Okay. Would really like to not get fogged again. Oh, they can't dress down because of the chalice. It's a weird game versus control, for sure. Have a prismatic ending on an oval chase. Okay. It's fine. I have another ring. Oh, Kahira. Dang, so I really just wish I had removal for this Kahira. I don't at the moment. I'm happy to trade for it though, you know. Okay. Draw, Serent, Steel Seeker, that gets countered. Let's attack with you. Alrighty. Trade. Activate Goose. Okay, get you back. I guess we can't cast it until next turn. That's unfortunate. Nothing else to really do. I guess I could have deployed Yagantha instead. That's what I should have done. Put a threat back in play. Okay. So weird, again, weird game. Alright, let's pick up the pace a little bit. I'm finally up on time on them a little bit, so I'd like to keep it that way. Draw Verdant Catacombs. Let's cast our Oval Chase. Pass the turn. Counterspell. Oh, target player draws 2 cards. Okay. Looking for maybe counter magic. Alright, pass turn. And if they're able to remove it, I can, you know, fetch Gilded Goose, activate, get it back on the end step. Okay, Solitude, Scry 2. Do they top anything? Bottom. Alright, so they didn't find what they need to answer this threat, maybe? Lorien revealed. They're pretty low on mana, though. They might not have enough. If it's a Solitude, they'll have to pitch. Could be a block with a Subtlety. Alright, fetching now. Leyline Binding? Target player draws 2 cards. Okay. I mean, they can have Subtlety, you know, pitch. Oh, not Subtlety pitch. They can have Solitude pitch. It's unfortunate. They'll get rid of this other Oval Chase. Okay. Alright, yield until the end step. Alright, now we get Yaganta in play. We are at a healthy life total. Shock. Activate. Oh, just concede. Alright, 2-0 versus blue-white control. Yeah, you know, you really just gotta pace yourself against that deck. Oval Chases, Yagantha, really important. Urza Saga, so important. And you can see there where they have just multiple hate pieces in play for us. They have the Stony Silence, they have the Chalices, but we can just deploy our top-end threats, and they just have to keep digging for removal over and over and over again. And we can just build a board of resources. So the sideboard could maybe use an extra effect that could destroy a Stony Silence, but given that I can still beat a Stony Silence, I think it's okay for now. Blue-white control, you know, not the worst matchup. I think it's fairly even. I would have to check my stats on the deck, but 4-0 for this league so far. So you know, everything's coming out pretty great. Match 5, 4-0 right now, playing for the trophy, lost the die roll. Let's see what's happening. What's happening, opponent? This is exciting. I haven't gotten a trophy in a bit. Okay, no companion. Got the Saga. Got the Manufacturer, Sarenth. I think this is an okay hand to keep. I'll keep it. Saga being able to get the cookbook that we need. Now it could be Scam. Okay, no, Steam Vents, maybe Grixis. Alright, I'm leaning towards Grixis. I think they play maybe a Dress Down main. Alright, they looked at my card. Alright, so good to keep track of cards my opponent knows about. They know about an Oval Chase. Okay, so they know what deck I'm playing. Is the Construct better against them? Probably. I can play it slow. We can play Sarenth next turn. Alright, Channeler's got 3 types. Probably about to get the 4th. Alright, there's the instant. So they got their clock. Alright, they target me again, so they'll know the next card as well. Can just yield through the turn. Okay, no land drop for them. They know about Gilded Goose. Let's get our Saga down. Get Sarenth Steel Seeker down. They might be holding up Bolt Spell Pierce. 8. Okay. So they are answering my threats, but I can get a Construct down next turn. Maybe still no land? Okay, they knew about the goose and the oval chase. Alright, preordained. They'll probably hit a land here. Been a preordain. What are their scries? 2 bottom? Wow. Wow. They've seen so many cards. That's unfortunate. And here we want to play... Well, I could give them access to black mana. Honestly, I'd rather not do that for an extra turn. I don't want to get thought seized, particularly. Okay, well, they hit the black mana themselves, so... Probably have up a drown. You can always drown a construct. Fine by me. I need to find an answer to this channeler before I die. Drown. Oh, Bowmasters. Interesting. Okay. Can I go off this turn? Untap. Draw for turn. Blood Fountain? Might be able to. I'll do the math in a second. No matter what we're playing, the Manufactor. So let's go Urborg, Manufactor. Discard Oval Chase. Okay. Now we play Goose, and then we only have 4 artifacts, so we would have to sack Manufactor, which doesn't really make a lot of sense here. We might want to play out the Time Sieve anyway, so that it can't get countered. I don't think they really play main deck destruction for this type of permanent. So I will do this. If they want to remove the Manufactor, I can take a turn in response. So no big deal either way. We'll get our turn, and we're not dead. And if they can't remove it, we've got all the turns we need. They have 1 bolt up right now. Okay, well, I don't need to play around. Okay, go to 6. And the Blood Fountain is nice here, giving us 2 artifacts. If they do end up getting rid of Manufactor, we might be able to take an additional turn, just using that as sacrifice fodder. Now, what are they going to do? Alright, Iteration. They gotta hit removal off of this. Alright, they put a card on top, so I'm guessing that they have hit it. But again, I'm just going to kind of blank their removal. Alright, you didn't have a permanent leave yet, so you do need to fetch if you want to push. Nothing? Maybe they're waiting. I'm not sure exactly what they're waiting for. Alright, another Blood Fountain. Let's discard Oval Chase. If they respond with removal, activate Goose. Okay. What you got, opponent? Heat on Manufactor. Let's see if they leave on top or not. Alright, they leave it on top. Okay, activate Goose. And now here we can do what we discussed before, which is sacrifice Manufactor as one of the things. Okay, we want to keep our treasures. Let's sacrifice foods. It's 3. This is 4. That makes 5. Okay, make an extra food. Let's go cast Blood Fountain. And now we might be able to just take a turn and buy back Manufactor. I believe so. Draw. Oh, Asmo. Okay. Yes. Okay, do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We already have 5. So yeah, let's just go ahead and... Oh, wait. Okay. If I take up the Blood Fountain and the treasure, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this is a win. White. Sacrifice. Blood Fountain coming in clutch again. And now we can go Manufactor. Cookbook, use the treasure, cast the cookbook. 5 artifacts left. GG. And then we can get Asmo in play and finish them off if they make us play it out. Sacrifice. Yield to the turn. Alright, let's get him dead. And here we're definitely not putting the Steel Seeker out there because it makes all our turns go longer. And we want to play as fast as possible. And now we can get removal spell plus turn. And it's unfortunate you have to click always yes yield to the oval chase triggers every time, since every time it goes to the graveyard it's a different permanent, or it's not a different permanent, it's a different card object. Let's do that. Kill Bowmasters. Yield through the turn, get in with Manufacture. And then next turn I'm going to play this oval chase out because they're making us play the whole deal. Okay, sacrifice. Kill. Cast. Yield. Oh no! Dang it. Well, that's okay. Just takes an extra turn. Goose. And here I don't feel like clicking the oval chase triggers, and we got plenty of stuff to sacrifice. Sometimes you just need shortcuts. Alright. Attack with the goose. The goose is loose. Alright. Alright, Grixis Death Shadow. Bring in the extra removal. Bring in Pithing Needle for engineered explosives. Probably Haywire, 1 Haywire Might for rogue artifact enchantments they bring in. I could see 1 spell bomb to turn off Dragon's Raid's channelers, but that's really the only graveyard piece in their deck. Yeah, so Goose is a great blocker. Let's cut Unearthed Blood Fountain. Sieve seems pretty great against them, you know. Cut a Manufactor, and we could cut 1 Goose, but they probably play Ragavan. I want blockers. Submit. Okay, opponent had a fast sideboard too. Alright, on the draw, got Goose, Deadly Disputes, we got the Asmo. We'll probably draw a discard effect, so I think this is super keepable. Wait, Thought Sees Me probably take Goose? Yeah. Okay, yield through the turn. Let's reorg my hand. It's 2 Deadly Disputes. Well, if they want to take away all my card advantage, they could. Okay, that's what I figured you take, because now the Deadly Disputes are cut off. Ooh, I could unearth it here. Although holding it means that if they want to discard spell again, they don't want to take Manufacture or Asmo. I want to turn on these Disputes. Okay. Turning on, getting 2 permanents now, even if they remove the Goose, I get, I can sack the food. So they know about my full hand because I played the Unearth that I drew. That's okay. Fetching. Okay, Channeler. Preordain. Okay. Now this will be awkward if the spell on, if the card on top. Okay, no. If it was what you want, you know, that's 3 looks wasted. But Bin's a preordain, so I'm not sure what they're digging for here. 1 top, 1 bottom. Okay, 4 cards in hand. So here, I think I would rather dispute now, because I don't want this to get countered. Oh, I guess it can't get drowned. But they could like heat the goose in response and then drown it with 3 mana. Okay. I'm gonna do this now. Fatal Push or Cookbook. We gotta resolve this Cookbook, I think. We can save the push. If we wanted to, we could Cookbook, discard something, and then use the food to cast the Asmo. Or use the food to cast the push. I don't want to give up too many resources here. Definitely want to do this. I like most of the permanents in my hand, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe we hold for now. If they want to Thoughtseize us, I may discard something and then push the Channeler to get it out of the way. They have sorcery, land, 2 card types. I mean, I'm at 20. I'm not too worried about the Channeler as a threat. More worried about it as card filtration. Digging for what they need. Alright, 3rd land. They're thinking, okay, fetch. Alright, now they are in Death Shadow playable range, so they might be doing that. Alright, Shadow. And now the push will probably just answer the Shadow. Alright, probably holding up Drown. So, not going to push now, because that's wasting resources. Great to hit this land. Manufacture can't get drowned. I don't know if this deck plays Counterspell too. I think this is a pretty sweet deal, assuming they just have Drown. So I think we play this, and then we can pass with discard something, push, in response to whatever they have. Although then that'll turn on the Drown for the Manufacture, but, you know. I can play patiently. I still only got 2 card types. Alright, another land drop. Okay. Where's the Surveil go? Alright, oh, they put EE in Grave. That's intriguing. Alright, they look at my cards. They know what's coming. If we discard anything, it'll be the Blood Fountain. Alright, 2 cards in hand. EE cast with 0. Okay, let them Surveil. Now, I still think they have... Yeah, there's nothing they can blow up at the moment, but they can get our Asmo with it. Can I take 5? I can take 5. I'd rather not open up right now. I'd rather do it when I have more mana. I can take 5. End step. Alright, let's untap. Plus now I have Goose activation. Alright, they draw. What did I have on top? Just a Blooming Marsh. So here, what would I like to do? Probably just discard Blooming Marsh, but I probably want to activate Goose first. Let's activate Goose. Because they can EE to blow up Asmo, so I don't really want to... Alright, you have a Bolt. Well, let's see where the Surveil goes. Dragon's Rage Channeler into Graveyard. Okay, now let's discard Blooming Marsh. Okay, now we have the Bolt. Yeah, no reason to not just Deadly Dispute here. Now we could sack... They have this Engineered Explosives, so I think I don't want to leave the foods hanging around for Asmo. I can get that back on board. Okay, draw a bunch. Okay, we got the oval chase now. That's great. Got one card in hand. So probably what I'll do is upkeep, push the Death Shadow. Can't do anything else with the Manufactor, so let's let the Manufactor go down, make a food, put a stop in their upkeep. Because if they have the Drown, I want them to have to use the mana on their turn. Yeah, don't want to put Asmo into this Engineered Explosives. If they want to blow up all my zero-cost stuff, I'll push in response. And that's what they'd like to do, so... Now they don't have a mana out for Drown. Let's take your big threat off the battlefield. I can survive, you know, several hits from this Channeler. Okay. Now I've got this oval chase. Okay, I don't need this upkeep stuff. Okay, Bauble. One card on top. Okay, so they like the card. That suggests to me maybe a Drown to handle whatever spells I want to cast. Go to 12, and now I got some geese to block. So I think we're going to be totally fine here. Even with the Drown, I think I can bait with something. Let's get our food first. Get you back. Now I think I want to goose and see if they want to counter this. I doubt that they would, but, you know, try it anyway. If they don't have a Drown... Alright, well, want to get 2 foods before you put your Asmo in play, because I'm definitely killing this Channeler. Get a cookbook. They could have a Spell Pierce. I don't need to walk this cookbook into another EE right now, because I don't have a Pithing Needle. I could play Blood Fountain. I think I'll play... I'm okay walking 1 Blood Fountain into an EE. Let's do this. And then we just want to kill their Channeler. Now, they can have a spell in response, but going to get this off the battlefield. Alright, they got the Bolt for Asmo. That's fine. We have established a pretty good board presence. Scalding Tarn into their graveyard. Okay. Yield to the turn. We got chump blockers, we got a Blood Fountain to get back Manufactor and Asmo. I think we're looking pretty great right now. Bowmasters, okay. It's definitely, you know, it's good damage, but I can just not draw cards, you know. All my card advantage right now is permanent based. Okay, Iteration, that's a good draw. See what they exile. Nice, the geese just being able to exile Preordain. Love that they're soaking up their mana here. My plan is to just... Hopefully I hit a land. That's what I'm most interested in. Okay, they got another Channeler. I really want to get that off the battlefield. Turn. If I hit land, I can just buy back Asmo right now. Okay, so I could play this, get back Asmo Manufactor, discard, make a food, cast Asmo, but then I don't have foods up for removal spells, so I think I'll just do Blood Fountain on their end step. I think that makes the most sense. I can chump block this Dragon's Rage Channeler and conserve my life total. And that's why I will not be cracking fetches. Can always crack it later to get Watery Grave if we need it, but as of right now, I think we are doing just fine. Okay, go to blocks, chump, and take 1, go to 10. End step. Let's discard the oval chase first. They got 2 cards in hand. Let's buy back Asmo Manufactor. Okay. And now I think we lead on Manufacture, since it gives us so much value here, and they're going to have to interact with that first. This. Alright, you have a Drown. Dress Down. Interesting. Okay. Swamp into their graveyard. Okay, you get to draw. Now on the end step we can make Food Clue Treasure. I don't really want to play Asmo right now because its ability is turned off, so if they have removal I can't get rid of any of their threats. Yeah, I think here we just cast the other cookbook. Pass the turn. Now if they have removal, I think they would kill the Manufacturer, so this kind of makes me think that they just don't. But, okay, here we go. Bowmasters. That'll make this a 2/2. I mean, they're tapped out now, so I'll let them ping something. Ping me, I got a 9. Let's get all of our Food Clue treasures. Chase. Okay, and now we can probably just chump block with Goose again. Maybe crack the blood token. Oh, I don't want to draw, never mind. Might just be block with Goose, use the 2 treasures, activate, make more stuff. Heat the Manufacturer. Alright, where does this card go? Bloodstained into the graveyard. That's okay, we got another Manufacturer. I will happily... Alright, I'll take 4, go to 5. I don't want to be dead to a bolt. So let's do that. As long as they don't have the EE here, I think we should be okay. Now they might have a Drown, which is why I'm going to play this Manufacturer first. Manufacturer, follow up with Goose. Now we got another chump blocker, plus somebody that can trade with these Bowmasters. And this is again an example where you do the sorcery, speed, food first. Alright, what do you do with the top of your library? Death Shadow into their graveyard. Alright, I guess they know they need something else. And now I get to get all this beautiful value and then basically kill their whole board. Alright, go ahead, heat, Goose, make a food. We got 6 foods. And this cookbook I will hold. I do not want to be left without a cookbook if they have engineered explosives. Now I don't think they have any reanimate effects, so I think here I can just hold. I might want to deploy the blood fountain now. There's no real need to. Don't need to waste treasures, and now you got 1 card draw, and I think if you don't top deck removal or expressive into removal, I think we can just take over. That's fine. We can still just let it resolve. I want to see what they pull off of it first. Asmo is just such a powerful card. Alright, land, Thoughtseize. Probably just take cookbook. Go to 6. I think they're just dead. Take blood fountain. Huh. Play that tapped. Okay. Okay, they got nothing. And we just get to untap. Okay. Oof, Saga. Definitely play that Saga out. Kill Bowmasters. Let's get these Bowmasters out of play so I can start drawing cards. Kill you. Now I could, 1, 2, 3. I could have 3 food tokens. But then I wouldn't have an instant speed removal spell, so I think I'll just go to combat. Ooh, this is weird. I got this target. They can chump if they want. Alright, they do not. They go to 3. I will play... Well, let's get our stuff. And I think I'll just hold up mana to crack food tokens and possibly block with Gilded Goose. Go ahead. Okay, you attacking. Okay, you're attacking. With that in mind, I think I will move to declare blockers, block with the goose, and then I can make a food token, have 3 food tokens, and now I'll crack a food. Go to 8. You got 1 card. Bolt doesn't kill me. Got a removal spell left up with Asmo if I need it. So they can't have a blocker. So they couldn't just have removal here. Heat. I don't think I can do anything in response. That resolves, and then let's crack a clue. Asmo. Wonderful draw. I don't want to lose life. Let's play you tapped. And I think this should be the end. Now we have 2 attackers. They probably can't top deck 2 removal spells. And I will hold this cookbook too, because I don't need to play it. This should clear it up for the 5-0, so that's super exciting. Yeah, look at that. All right, got another trophy. Love to see that. And yeah, Grixis Death Shadow, having no access to exile-based removal, that deck, those blood fountains come in so handy in that matchup. You know, we just got to take it slow, chump block their threats until the late game with our geese, and then just play our threats, get them removed, get them back, replay them, value, end of story. I'm really surprised they cast that Thoughtseize. Strange choice, I think, but either way, you know, trophy. I'll take a trophy any day with this deck. That's so awesome. Yeah, but you know, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy seeing that this deck can get trophies. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.